AI's date with brands, one night stand or happily ever after. That is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this session is going to be chaired by Ranjeet Kumar, co-founder and CEO, Team Pumpkin. And he'll be joined on stage by Dr. Nanda, Chief Marketing Officer, Stovekraft, George Tharian, co-founder and CEO, FUTR Studios or FUTR? Future Studios. Future Studios, huh? And then we also have Subhashini Parasuraman, Director, The Purpose Academy. Can I please request all of you to kindly please join me over here on stage? Give them a huge round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
So talking about AI. And with me, I am Ranjeet. I run Team Pumpkin. With me, there are 3 guests. I dare not introduce them, to make any mistake. So I would request to make a two-line introduction about yourself, 3 of you, about your experience, expertise.
Sure, should I start? Yeah, hi everyone. Very good evening to everyone here. My name is Subhashini. I have had about a 20-plus year career in marketing, and especially marketing for tech companies. I think I stopped counting after 20 years. That's a good thing. And so yeah, ex-Applied Materials, Intel, Razorpay, and more recently I've decided to join the education sector. So that's a little bit about myself.
Yes, thank you. George?
Next, yep. Hi, I'm George. I am the co-founder and CEO of FUTR Studios. So as the name suggests, we're trying to delve into marketing for the future. We've created India's first virtual influencer called Kyra. She's on Instagram. Some of you may have heard about her. Yeah, so that's the direction that we've taken. We are very much in love with AI right now. So it's not going to be a one-night stand. But yeah, so I have been in the marketing space through and through. Graduated from MICA in 2019, and then since then I've worked with some big brands and decided to then see what AI can do with marketing, and started off before the term AI became popular. So yeah.
His intro has been, I run a virtual human company, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and you may have seen him on Shark Tank as well. Yes. Yes, sir. Dr. Nanda.
Hi, good evening. My name is Manu. I've been in the consumer marketing space for about almost 3 decades now. 15 years in consumer electronics, and the next 15 years in home appliances. I currently work for a company called Stovekraft, which is the Pigeon kitchen appliances brand. The Gilma kitchens, Black & Decker is also one of the licensee brands we have. I've sold the first digital cameras in India, to the first plasma televisions, to the first LCD TVs, to the first LED TVs, so on and so forth, and now doing kitchen and home appliances at Stovekraft. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for gracing the panel. And sort of first question is to both the seasoned marketeers. How do you think, while he thinks that AI is not a one-night stand, it's we're going to live with AI forever, what you guys think, and how has been your introduction to AI? You have had a good experience with tech companies, right?
Sure. So yeah, I agree with my neighbor here. I don't think it's anything but a one-night stand. And frankly, nowadays there's a lot of noise about AI, largely because of what's happening with OpenAI and ChatGPT. But the reality is it's nothing that new. It's been around. It's been evolving. I don't know how many folks know, but Gen AI's first sort of appearance was in the 1960s with a chatbot called Eliza. So it's been around. And I mean, since we are talking AI, I feel I will not do it justice if I don't speak of data. But as early as 2018, there was data which said that there are 400 use cases for marketing alone through AI, and this was a McKinsey report. Then again in 2019, there was some data that said that the increase of AI use cases has been 27%. So all the data you look at, it's showing that AI is consistently growing. So first off, I want to sort of discount this thing that it's a new being that has come into the market. It's always been around. It's just that the kind of speed at which it's evolving is scary, and just because technology has grown so exponentially, that's why you see this sort of pace in development in large language models and all the new tech. So yeah, to short answer, it's I think it's a long marriage which we all need to work at to make it successful. And
Nice. Dr. Nanda?
Uh, I think I'm a born romantic, so my answer kind of differs. Start with that one night stand, right? I'm the white beard, 3 decade in the sales. Start with that one night stand. AI is not just one place, you know. It's not that just one good-looking girl that you're looking at, right? There are many out there. It's that good-looking, handsome men out there. You just can't be thinking, oh, I'll just do my creatives with AI. You know, there are many things. While I totally agree with her answer, but there's so much more to do there. There's so much happening today. For a marketer, it's really changing the whole landscape. What I was doing with a team of 5 people, I'm doing it with just one person to handle AI, right? Yes, definitely. I mean, it's a really long-term play now, but so much exciting and so much fun. So yeah, it's very flirty, I would say, right now. Yeah, it's still evolving for a marketer, for a young marketer, or even for a seasoned marketer. You know, somebody who's been into the traditional marketing. You know, who's like a believer of traditional marketing. It's really changing the landscape.
So George, you are in for an open relationship industry, actually, right? And you run a virtual human company. How the heck you got into this, and what do you think is future while running an AI company yourself?
Right. So, how did we get into this? Before this, as part of one of the businesses that we were running, we were also running an influencer marketing agency. And there were new agencies coming up every other day. The commissions kept getting lower, and we thought of what can we do next? I mean, how can we keep all the money to ourselves? And that is how the thought came about, that what if we can have our own influencers? Which is how it started, and then when we looked around, we saw that in the US, somebody was doing it very successfully. There is a character called Michaela, who is very popular in the US, and a team of marketers started her in about 2016, and since then she gathered about 3 million followers on Instagram, and 4 million now, and nobody was doing it in India at the time, and I'm talking about 2020. So that's when we decided to kind of give it a try. There were a couple of other companies which had announced that they are going to launch their own virtual humans in the market, but nobody had done it. We gave it about a month or two, did a couple of iterations on the designs, and launched Kyra in the market. And fortunately for us, she was a success back then. Now it has become very common. I mean, back then there was no AI. Kyra was completely built on 3D CGI technology, the same that is being used to make movies like Avatar and all the Marvel movies. Now the game has completely changed. I mean, we had never thought that something like an AI would come into this particular industry and change the way we are looking at creating content altogether. Back when we started working on Kyra, it used to take us about anywhere between a month to 2 months with a team of about 4 to 5 3D designers to sit and work on a 30-second ad. Because it's all 3D, it's all done on the computer, there's no physical shoot. And just last week, we launched a 30-second reel on Instagram celebrating Onam with Kyra, which took us half a day to make. And it was all AI. And there was no physical shoot. There were not more than 2 people involved in doing it. So, I mean, I think the job of innovation is bringing efficiency. And in a way, now AI is actually bringing that efficiency for us. We don't even have to do anything to make things more efficient. AI is making things efficient for us. So maybe not in our lifetime, but I think the ultimate goal of AI is to actually make humans jobless. So not in this lifetime, maybe a few decades down the line, it will be able to do it. But I believe that because of the way it's evolving and the way it has been thinking, like even I wasn't such an optimist a few months ago, because I wasn't able to see AI be that creative. It still wasn't able to think emotionally. It still isn't able to think emotionally. But I am seeing that change coming in. I am seeing AI able to bring in that emotional quotient into the way it thinks. So I do believe that it's going to be here for a long time.
I think humans will find its own ways of intelligence to outlive or outweigh probably the ill effects of AI. But to both the marketeers here, I know that there has been many use cases that we have seen of AI, but specifically into the marketing world, which areas we are going to see most sort of innovated, impacted, so to say. Today, any ad you run, there's an AI into it. Your Facebooks or Meta of the world use AI to reach you. So I think that's one part. But from a people perspective, will there be a day when a creative brief or a creative context AI can generate as powerful as humans do? Like a film can still be crafted end to end through AI.
Yeah, I think that's already happening. So I remember in my previous company in Razorpay, there was an entire ad campaign in Economic Times. It was a pretty big campaign in ET, which was completely AI generated. So what they did was they took pictures from the founders of D2C companies who are the bread and butter for Razorpay, and kind of created this whole print campaign, which was pure AI generated imagery. So it's definitely a possibility. I think we are boxing ourselves if we just talk about, can AI deliver a creative campaign? I think there's, as he mentioned, there's so much more to it. But the human element is still very, very important. I think I'm still a believer in the power of human evolution and intelligence. For whatever we created AI, so maybe this becomes a Frankenstein monster, but I think the previous panelist, I believe the lady from Tanishq said that the best way they gain insights is by walking on the shop floor, by talking to consumers, by having telephone conversations. So that is yet not to be replaceable. I think that still holds value. But another beautiful use case, I think another panelist mentioned social listening. I think the kind of social listening that AI can do and the kind of speed and efficiency it can deliver can never be mimicked by a human. In fact, MasterCard is doing exactly that. They have an engine called Digital Engine, and all it does is go through reams and reams of social media data and predicts, or rather throws up what they call relevant microtrends. And these relevant microtrends, marketers sort of cash in on it and plug in their creative social media posts and what have you. So
Nice. For you, Dr. Nanda.
Wherever there's large data, I think AI can definitely do a much better job than having a team on it. I'll answer that question for myself as well. I'm a CMO of a company. I had product, I had marketing, I had corporate communications, everything. I've told my young team that we'll start everything with AI. Right from consumer research, what kind of products, you ask AI about whatever questions you have in mind. Let your starting point be the ChatGPTs, whatever ChatGPT you have. Even for my video designers, for my graphic designers, there are features in the typical softwares that they were using. Adobe has so much AI inbuilt today. You wanna, not just that you wanna remove a object that you don't want in the picture, but it can actually create a full character. Indian lady in a sari, in a green sari with a bindi, with a kid standing next to her, operating an air fryer. And all they have to do is then just circle the air fryer and replace that with our air fryer. So AI is kind of helping us, and not just that. I mean, even strategy. We are even writing strategy with AI, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it gives you all the missed points that you probably thinking, oh, chalo brainstorming mein nikal aayenge aur kuch points. The AI has kind of done that brainstorming, and you know that okay, yeah, we don't want to discuss this, don't want to discuss this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we want to discuss. It's so efficient. I mean, even new product ideas. Go back to your ChatGPT. Buy the paid version, by the way. I must recommend all the marketers, buy the paid version. See the difference it creates to your marketing life. It's humongous.
So George, back to you. how the AI relationship with humans evolving. Do you think that the movie Her will ever be possible, or does Kyra get proposals?
Kyra actually gets a lot of proposals day in and day out. I mean, the kind of messages that Kyra gets. We are actually working on something where people find it better talking to Kyra. So, because what we did was we created a layer of Kyra's personality on GPT, and we allowed people to chat with Kyra on Instagram. And in the last 3 months, Kyra has received over 200,000 messages from more than 25,000 people. And these are all very genuine conversations. I mean, people are actually wanting to interact, even if it's with an AI personality. And in today's day and age, one issue that I think our generation, the younger generation, is facing is loneliness. And that is one space which also I think AI will be able to help with. I know it all seems like it's going to be a Black Mirror episode. It may be. But the reality about the movie Her, it is very much possible that starts becoming true from as early as a few months from now. I remember an experiment that OpenAI was trying to do. They actually tried to replicate the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Because they wanted to make the movie.
And she sued, yeah.
She sued them.
And
all
then the
that.
backlash.
Yeah, and then the backlash. So it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. We are also working towards something where we see people interacting with AI on a regular basis. In fact, even right now, people who are chatting with Kyra, we see a 20% retention week on week. And people are coming back to chat with Kyra, in spite of knowing that she's a virtual character altogether. So I think it's only, especially in a country like ours, it's only the top 0.51% that actually knows how AI works and may completely discard it as just another chatbot. But the 99% of India that doesn't know what a ChatGPT is or what an OpenAI is trying to do is very much open to interacting with AI just the way they do with any other human being. That is what we see.
So I think 2 more questions, quick questions to both the marketers. Like, are you not worried from what George is saying at a personal and professional level that what will happen if there are tomorrow 25, Dr. Nanda romantics, out in the world, or there could be many deep fakes like us sort of roaming around, or for brand for that matter, so the whole reputation side of things of individuals and brands and institutions, do you think you're worried?
Yeah, I am most certainly worried. I don't want to sugarcoat, maybe it's my age or what have you, but if you've read about the kind of stuff that's happening, and sorry, I don't mean to press the panic button, but I'll give you an example. There was a New York Times reporter called Kevin Rose. I don't know how many of you have read about this. And then he did this experiment where he simply was chatting with Bing on the search engine. And at some point, the assistant or whatever you call the AI bot just took over. I mean, the personality of that bot completely changed. And this is very relevant to the topic, like the title, because this bot basically told Kevin that he needs to break off his marriage and that needs to be with the bot. Yes. And I'm not kidding, you can read about this whole transcript is there. It became a big thing. So how that it just happened. So in fact, in the article, he gave this other creature another name. I know it sounds surreal. It sounds like some Netflix thriller or something, but this actually happened. So there have been use cases where the bot has started hallucinating. Yeah. And then there have been, I believe it was Satya Nadella who said that I didn't intend for the bot to learn Bengali, but it did. So that kind of stuff is scary. But at the same time, we are also, as governments, as regulatory bodies, figuring things out, right? And figuring what kind of guardrails should be put in place. Like, for example, if there is any pure AI-generated content, should we be labeling it, saying that this is AI-generated? So I hope, so the thing is, I think it's still such an evolving space. And there are governments, there are regulatory bodies. Hopefully, they all kind of come together and we put some guardrails around it. But
so
short answer, I am scared, but not panicking. Yes.
So back again, you need humans to sort of control AIs or some sort of
has to be
mechanism and systems. What do you think,
has
Doctor?
To be guardrails.
Look, as a marketeer, I'm pretty excited about all of this happening now. It's such a relief, actually. You can create content quickly. You can create content in time, you can create content that you had in your mind, right? And I'm pretty excited. I mean, if I were in his place, I would have already put up a matrimonial ad for Kaira, and done like a contest. Hey,
Swangvar.
your Kaira is
Kaira
looking for a soulmate, and I mean, imagine the hype, and that's free marketing. So these marketing tools are helping you to do your own marketing now. So I'm pretty excited. Obviously, there's this dark side which eventually we'll control. I mean, AI is intelligent, and that's what we want it to be. We don't want it to be, hey, okay, stop now. That's your limit. We really want it to learn. I mean, that's how it'll help. Imagine the finance companies use AI for fraud detection. You really want them to stop? No. I mean, it's a continuous process. I mean, talk to a finance friend of yours who's using AI in fraud detection. He'll always be, raving about it. So I think it's going at the right pace right now. And if you're not reading, you really don't know what's happening. I mean, I've been reading just AI for about 2 years now. And I'm very excited about it.
So final question from me for a lot of creative professionals and marketing professionals, agencies, services, and Kaira. I think there are two buckets of people. One who thinks like me that future is a human versus human who use AI, right? But then there are certain set of people who are very insecure about AI, so I know that they have to take in, but how do they approach in terms of where do they start? Start right away at ChatGPTs of the world, or how do they approach young professionals are here? How do they approach about getting onto AI bandwagon, like broadly? Should they take a course? Like what? How should they start?
So not just young professionals, I think even older professionals, I think there's no escape. One has to completely embrace it. And it's like any job, any profession, upskilling is so important. And I would say the best way to learn is by doing. And these things have become so easy to use. It's not rocket science. There was a time that, to Gen AI, the kind of inputs you had to give, you needed to know Python. But now it's like become so easy. You just get into the browser and you type it. How hard can it be? After half an hour, 1 hour, you'll figure out that what prompt is getting you the right kind of response. And similarly for creating images, there's DALL-E, there's Mid-Journey, there's so many. For music, there are tools. For voice synthesis, there are tools. And it's all out there. Some of them are open source, available to you. I would say the best way to learn it is embrace it, pick it up, dedicate some time, and start learning by doing. And there's so much content, you can even read and become educated. Don't necessarily need a course.
So George, for you, like talking to Kaira is the starting point?
That's actually true. I ask Kaira a lot of questions day in and day out. In fact, most of my food choices I make after asking Kaira what to eat. But I completely agree with Mom, with what Ma'am said. It's a level playing field. I mean, right now, AI is new for everyone. We are still learning what it can do. And to be very honest, if you start using AI by yourself, there will be times when you feel like it's stupid because it's still not as intelligent as we think it is. You may think like it may have answers to all your questions, but it won't. And while using it on a regular basis, you will realize what it needs to learn from you and how it is still evolving. So I think the best way to learn is to just start using it, starting from the most basics of ChatGPT, and then you can start experimenting with all the different models that exist out there. It's important to understand how each of these models are being trained, what is the difference between a closed source versus an open source, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. Only once you start using all the tools, you start understanding these terms. So definitely, I would suggest, especially for people who are in the marketing space, if you're already not using all of these tools, I don't think you are doing your job most efficiently. In fact, as Sir said, even I expect all my teammates, if there is a task at hand, I expect them to go and ask ChatGPT first. Because it gives you a starting point. It breaks that, what do you call it, the writer's block or the mental block of starting anything new. I think, yeah, that's the best way to do it. There are a lot of influencers out there who are actively trying to impart
Teaching,
knowledge
yes,
about
yes.
AI on Instagram. Varun Maya is one of them. If you guys have heard, even I follow him. There are a couple of others who, Tanmay Bhatt along with Varun Maya is trying to impart a lot of knowledge about the different tools that are coming out. So I think following these guys and then trying these things out yourself is the best way to go.
Dr. Nanda.
I would say yes. I mean, obviously, learn and teach. And teach everybody. Not just your fellow marketeers. Teach from your dad to your mom to your mother-in-law to your housemaid. I mean, I work for a kitchen appliances, home appliances company. Trust me, in the next 3 years, just behind your gas stove, you'll have a tablet that'll be talking to your maid auntie, telling her, says her name, Asha, we are going to cook this broccoli today, right? And Asha is going to use those instructions to cook what was already on your menu. This is going to happen. Trust me, this will happen.
Expedite that? Like
Yeah, I mean, well, yes, why not? I mean, it's coming. Yeah. It's really round the corner. So don't, when ChatGPT came in, my content writer was, sir, ye to naukri kha jayega. And she's still here, and she's using ChatGPT. And when I hired her, I said, and she's about my age, and I said, do you use ChatGPT? She said, yes. And I said, the simple rule is, anything that we want in our content should first be coming out of ChatGPT. Then you edit it. Then you put the human element on it. But the first, you can't think and then write one piece of content for the day. We'll need about 30 pieces of content a day, especially with Amazon listing content, and you have some another strategies to do. So yeah, obviously, I mean, learn and also teach. Tell your team that, I keep telling my team, why are we still doing the human video? There's an app where you can actually shoot it with anybody and it'll convert it into an animation, and with another app, it'll also put the text that you wanted there, and so on and so forth. So we really embraced AI in my company, and I know many marketers who're using it to kind of the fullest right now.
So technology will find its way to us. Thank you so much, all the panelists. Follow them on LinkedIn and follow Kyra on Instagram as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
You and I can actually build a soulmate for Kyra, actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Build a competition.
build a competition to Kyra.
Doing that ourselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Give them a huge round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.